Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening, I'm glad you're here. Today, I'm going to give you my thoughts and my overview of this, what I think is a fantastic knife, and I will get into it here in just a second. I do real quickly want to say thank you to all the channel members. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And thank you for anyone who finds my content, who comes in to watch it, to experience it. I appreciate you. Whether you subscribe or you don't subscribe, thank you for coming. So this is the Vosteed Psyop. I did an unboxing of this about 5-6 days ago. My buddy A.K.A. EDC, who I'd love for you guys to go give a follow to on Instagram. He doesn't have a YouTube channel, but he is my local buddy, and he makes a lot of knives available for the channel for me to live with, check out, and we trade knives and stuff too. But he's at A2Z EDC at Instagram. Great dude. Always goes to blade shows with me. But he bought this knife on NAF sale, and this is not his normal jam of a knife, but we'd been talking about it because it uses a top liner lock, which is very similar to what the smock uses. Very similar to a button actuated liner lock, really. But the first thing that I noticed when I unboxed it, and that hasn't changed a bit, and I've been using this knife, I probably flipped it, I don't know, 500, 600 times, cut a bunch of paper with it, cut coupons with it, have not cut any hard materials with it because it's not my knife, but it's Elmax, and I have a feeling, according to Vosteed, it's heat treated at 60 to 62. I think it's perfect. The flipper tab, I'm not a front flipper guy, but the way that this is designed, it really makes for a very, I go for the liner every time. It makes for a very easy front flip. So whether I grab it here closer to the front, or if I grab it up at the corner, the jimping, well, as I miss it, the jimping goes all the way to the top. I can even do that reverse funky thing. But again, I'm not a middle finger flipper guy. So what I love about this knife is the pill-shaped blade hole, the natural detent you get from it being a liner lock. This knife, guys, there's no way to shake it out. It has got stiff detent. I don't know if you can hear that snapping back in. But what that means is you've got a very, going for that liner. I'm an idiot. Again, I've done that, guys, for a week just because the only button lock I'm used to besides the smock, and the smock doesn't have detent for that matter, after I deploy this and I feel it lock up and I can tell that it's a frame lock, I just generally go for the bottom. It's odd. I'm sure I'll get used to it, especially when I get one. By the way, I will leave an affiliate link for these. The titanium, I thought they were all out of stock. The titanium are out of stock. By the time I recorded this video, I don't know if they'll still be when it goes live, but by the time I recorded this video, both variations of the black, both in the titanium smooth and the titanium textured. And the difference between the two is the titanium textured does have some cross milling to give you a little bit more grip, but for that it trades off the contoured handles. So I really prefer the smooth contour handles. I'm thinking about getting the black and black on the with the smooth. They've got both the black and black smooth and the black with the pattern. But what else is beautiful about this knife, and absolutely wonderful, are the ergonomics. So this first natural grip, you've got this finger area right here, and I can death grip it and I do not feel the clip. And we'll talk about the clip more in a second. So the clip does not give you a hot spot at all. You've got this generous finger choil, which for me is just perfect. And the jimping on the blade is very aggressive. It's not uncomfortable, it's just going to keep your finger in place. So when I cut with this knife, it is very much a therapeutic slicer. Whoops. Very pokey stabby. It's got a splinter digger tip if you need that. So you've got this really well done, nicely proportioned drop point Elmax blade. This grade 5 titanium handle. This middle titanium pocket clip, which I will tell you goes in and out of pocket better than most knives I own. I'm wearing thick 511 kind of, I think they're called, I don't know if they're called commander pants or they're called something, but they do have a thick, I can't get it to the camera, but it's got a very thick hem. It goes in easier than my Hinder. The clip does not rattle. It's deep. You've got an integrated lanyard hole. The hardware on this guy, if I'm not mistaken, are T8s all the way around. Yeah, not T10, T8, T8, T8. So you got T8 hardware, which is a win. You've got an Elmax blade, which in my mind is a mad win. You've got a design. When I originally unboxed this, I thought this was another one of used designs, but it's not. It's actually a design collaboration, Vosteed's first, with, I never pronounce his name right. It's Geoff Blauvelt, I think it is. I think the L is probably silent, so it's probably Blauvelt. But he is A.K.A. Tuffknives, right? So Tuffknives, well, you guys have probably seen, they do some awesome designs. But this is the design that they collaborated with Vosteed, the Psyop, to bring to life. And it is, like I say, a button-operated top liner lock. So you can see the liner lock there, and you can see it locked into that blade right there. It's just on the opposing side of what we're used to with the liner lock. That's why I keep going down here. No, it's actually on the right side of where a liner lock would be. But instead of reaching for it here, you just simply depress that button and it pushes the liner out of the way and the blade's then free to drop. So like with a compression lock or a button lock, you can just flip it open if you don't want to use the blade hole. If you don't want to front flip it, if you don't want to thumb flick it, which I hate, but if thumb flick's fine. I like the middle finger flick. It's cash money. I love the swedge on the blade. I think it's very, very attractive. I think it's a gorgeous looking knife, but the way it fits in my hand and the ergonomics, the thinness of the handle with the deep belly of the flat ground blade, just really, really do it for me. I'm a huge fan of this knife, guys. I can tell you right now, in case you want to go ahead and flush the video and get out of here, this may be my new contender for Knife of the Year. The Phantom by Mr. Designs is right up there. It's a fantastic knife, but I believe the Vosteed Psyop might be the finest knife I have handled and dealt with this year. And it's right in about that $250 range, so it'll be about $50 more than the Phantom. But again, you're getting Elmax steel, smooth tie, super nice. This is compared to the Baby Banter, which is much bigger than, much smaller than our Cold Steel 4MAX. So I think we will probably see it coming in between our Benchmade Bug Out and our Spyderco Paramilitary 2, which means it is going to be 8 inches roughly, maybe a tad over, but 8 inches long. The blade is going to be right over 3 1/4 with a 3-inch cutting area, a handle of 4 1/2 inches. The grip is 4 1/8 from right here to right here. That's 4 1/8 inches. So if I measure from that choil, it's really 5, but we'll call it 4 3/4. So that's where I like to grip the knife. That's where I think it feels really good. I mean, I'll be honest with you. This way they've got this scales with this little bit of rounding or convex, the knife feels great there. I just know that that choil will probably come into contact with material, so I'd rather have that covered with my finger. I'd rather let it slide up there. You've got a really well done plunge grind. It could be moved back a little bit, but you'll notice that it kind of quits getting thick right there, so you've got plenty of sharpenings. I think you can sharpen that forever without really worrying about it. But let's take a look at our blade stock, our thickness, and then we will weigh it and we will give you my final thoughts. So 0.1390 in blade thickness behind the edge, and I'm never great with these measurements, guys, so take this with a grain of salt. That's at the very edge, 0.0160. And then the handle thickness comes in right at 0.515, so right at 1/2 inch. Let me grab our Geoff Amazon scale extraordinaire, and we will see what the Psyop from Vosteed weighs. It's a heavier knife, which I love about it. To me, it feels more quality than a lot of titanium knives because it's got steel liners inside those scales. So 4.65 ounces. So it's going to be a little over an ounce an inch, but I appreciate that because, again, I think it's thin enough. The clip is engineered perfectly. It feels like a tool in your hand. It feels like it'll get work done. I know it will get work done. It right now, as it sits, is the finest knife I've experienced this year. I love it. If I was in the position right now, I would grab one immediately, but I know they'll come back around. This knife's going to be so popular. I urge any of you to pick it up. You will not be disappointed if it fits your hand. And my buddy who bought the knife, who let me use it, A.K.A. EDC, is a very, very giant kind of guy. Big dude. His hands are a little bit bigger than me, but he's got more sausagey fingers. And he's probably a foot taller than me, but he loves this knife. It fits him very well, and he leans towards the finer knives, right? He's not, this for him is a budget knife, and it was more of a, let's see what it is like purchase, kind of like I would have, to check out this liner lock. However, I have more experience with Vosteed, and I know that they build amazing knives. They engineer amazing knives, and this one's executed perfectly, guys. It's the Vosteed Psyop. The blacks are available now. I'm sure these will be back in stock. I'll leave a link. I want to thank you guys for watching the video. If you're still here and you hadn't had a chance yet, you could really help me out and be my hero if you hit that subscribe button and that bell notification icon. If not, thank you. Just please come back and check out my content from time to time. I do ask, if you would, please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Please look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart, and always choose debate, not hate. Be up. I love each and every one of you, and peace.